podcast, Profit with a Plan. This is where you can get some great ideas on your most profitable small business. Just so you know, financial planning isn't only for those that have a big business or run big companies. It's for us everyday small business owner and professionals that want to make great financial decisions to grow bigger profits. So join me, Marcia Reiner, your certified financial planner and financial business strategist, each Tuesday for some smart ideas that can add more money to your bottom line. I do help ambitious business owners grow their profits every day using unique ways of growing their income and spending strategies that produce bigger profits without killing themselves or constantly chasing clients. So if you know of anyone that may be curious, share my podcast and let's chat. Let's see what we can do to create greater profits in your business. So on today's podcast, we're speaking with my dear friend, Mary Barnett, with another brilliant idea. Mary is known as Mobile Mary in the industry. She is a social and mobile conversationalist and loves sharing her passion and expertise on Live Weekly, a video training on Facebook page called The Mobile Mary. She talks Tuesdays at 11, so she's right on the same day. She's all warmed up and ready to go. She's also known as a keynote speaker on stages, companies, industries, associations, and business groups. Her company, Another Brilliant Idea, Inc., helps simplifying marketing tools, training, and teams that help turn connections, oh my gosh, into conversations, into conversions. That's exactly what we need. They are simple solutions that end the frustration and get more results. So Mary, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm so excited on here. You help, well, what we do is we work with, on the podcast with listeners that are small business owners and entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We all seem to struggle not using social media, but we struggle on how to turn it into business. And I've asked you on today to help demystify this, put it into ways that we can really benefit as small business owners and entrepreneurs. So tell us, please, give us your wisdom.
Well, I'd be happy to. I am so excited about being on your show, Marcia. Thank you so much for inviting me. You're so kind. And it's not as hard as people think. I mean, people are like, oh my gosh, there must be some formula, some secret trick, and there really isn't. And I'm so excited to kind of demystify that a little bit because I think that it does take a little work. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no magic pill or secret sauce, coding, something weird, right? It's really all about showing up and showing people who you are, sharing your awesome sauce, as I like to say, and really letting people know what you do, because that's the key. We don't want to keep our light under a bushel. We need to, basically share what we do, because as I always say, I know this sounds weird to some people, but you are the answer to someone's prayer out there.
Aww.
And they will never know you exist unless you show up. So if you let that sit with you for a second, you are the answer to someone's prayer. So for you, Marcia, you have small service-based businesses who are just like at their wits' end. They don't know how to become, they're not profitable in their business. They don't know the strategies. They don't know. I have actually shivers thinking about this. Like, you are someone they're hoping and wishing and praying for would walk into their life and say, oh, look how easy it is, right? Yeah. And you can turn their entire business around. So
well, I think that's really important, because most businesses, they know how to do their genius, their gift.
Right.
But it's how do they get it out in the world, and how do they get it out to their people that they want to have come into their business? And I think that's the $100 million question. That's how you make $1 million company, or go from 50 to 100 or 100 to a million. You have to be able to get in front of the right clients. And from what I understand, they're on social, right?
They are. Yes, they are all sitting on social. And people say, well, which platform should I be on? And, how often do I post? And they get so caught up in the nitty gritty, of the tactics versus just stepping back and kind of looking at the strategy of it all. So what I really want to show or hear or share with your guests today is really 3 takeaways. I want to help you turn conversations with connections that convert into cash. And I know that's really important to you with profitability, right? Because when you say a connection is a friend
Mm-hmm.
or someone who follows you, or someone who responds to your post, or who starts a conversation with you, or you start a conversation with them, right? These are connections that can convert into cash for you if you create that relationship, right? And I had this really big aha moment. I think this might be, I don't know, aha to you, but I was kind of playing around with some words, and I was looking at the difference between um, conversation and conversion. The only difference between those two words is two letters, which is AT, right? And the AT, I know this sounds weird, but the AT is the at symbol
Mm-hmm.
is how you connect with somebody on social media, right? When you put an at and then you start someone's name, it can tag them, right?
Okay.
Excuse me. You can't tag them unless you're friends, right? You don't have a connection with them yet. So the whole thing about a conversation that turns into a conversion is really to have a relationship with someone, with another human being who might, as I said before, be praying for your service and they had no idea that you did it, right? Or that this is what you provide. So it's really important that we have those connections, we have those relationships with people as you would in the three-dimensional world. Social media is just like, I like to, okay, here's a great way to think about social media. Different platform. People say, what platform? What platform? So I always think of parties, right? Because I started out in business 31 years ago as a party planner, really, event marketing. And so a Twitter is like a cocktail party, right? Short conversations, bebopping around, just kind of shallow, to be honest. Just, how are you? What's going on? This is what's happening. This is what I'm thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn is like a trade show, right? You go there, you're going to have business. You go and you look for booths that have information of it, businesses that you like to work with, and you learn about them. Again, it's like a trade show. And
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is like a family barbecue, right?
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
right. So you think about it, you go to Facebook, you're looking at people's vacation photos, and you're finding out about their grandbabies, and you're seeing their
Mm-hmm.
puppy dogs, and you're going, there's like a family barbecue. And you wouldn't walk into a family barbecue and walk right up to the bar, like someone, sitting around serving, have a cake or whatever, right? You wouldn't walk up to the bar and say, hey, look at this cool cup. Isn't this cool? It holds all this water and ice and has a straw. You want to buy this from me? Want to buy this from me? Want to buy this from me?
Please buy this now.
Right. Like, oh my God, this is like, and you talk all about its features, and, and people would be like, can you go? Like, this isn't
Right.
the time or place to be, trying to sell me this cup. Like, we're here
Hawking
to
your stuff, your wares, right?
Right. So there is a way to make sales on Facebook, but it's not like going right in with a sale. Buy from me.
Okay.
So it's all about walking up. It's the thing. Oh my gosh, how are you? Oh my gosh, I love your outfit. I saw your baby's pictures. They were so cute. And oh my gosh, I see you drinking out of this really cool cup all the time. This is the cup that I brought because I think it's really cool too. But I really like your cup. Like, again, it's
It's
a
a conversation. Yeah.
right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. And so the
Okay.
minute someone starts commenting on your items, again, if it's something business related or whatever, you then have the basically permission to start a conversation with them, either publicly on the comments or privately with a direct message saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for liking my lipstick or my cup or my whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite lipstick? Do you have a favorite cup? And like, you start the conversation. And you never go in for the sale right away. And I know that's frustrating to people. They're like, I just want to get in, get out, make a sale, get out, but it's
Yes, but that's
long game.
not the place for the social media. That's the place for advertising. If you're going to advertise on a billboard or
Right.
direct mail the old-fashioned way, or if you're standing in a trade show booth and you're introducing your product and wares at the trade show booth where people are walking by looking for information. So I
Right.
think what you really gave me that big aha, and it was really good, was that LinkedIn, they're expecting business connections. They're expecting business related information. I don't generally go out to cocktail parties and just do short chats. I think that world didn't really focus for me business wise.
Right.
But I think when you go into the social world and you can have that conversation and get to know somebody, then they're good. I think you're earning your way into being able to say, well, yes, I have a pretty cup too that has water and had ice at one time, and it does have a straw. Mine has a little bit more decorations than yours, same company, I believe. But
yes,
you know, we have similar things on our interest list. And then with that interest, and because I've seen that, that's the big aha. Now I have permission to go and start talking to you about that.
right. Now, I'm not saying that LinkedIn is the only place to do business. No, I do a lot of business on Facebook.
Well,
but,
and that's what I think. That's a great place to do business on Facebook, because LinkedIn people aren't as responsive, I think.
right, exactly. So you're going to have to, and now LinkedIn has become more social. They were bought by Microsoft. They try to turn it into more of a social platform. So there is, you know, people look at you for credibility wise, that you know what you're saying and you're commenting on things. You have to be intelligent, right? So that's our business. But there's still an awesome place on Facebook and Instagram. Obviously, they're owned by the same company, to do an amazing amount of business. But the key is again, you know, stay in the lane. You're going to be more social in a friendly way on Facebook and Instagram, because it's all about the relationship, and people kind of go through and stalk you a little bit. So they want to know that you know what you're talking about, that you have a track record, that people are saying nice things about you. So it's really important. I mean, there's a lot of other little stuff that goes into it, but like reviews and compliments and testimonies and all that kind of stuff goes into it, because people want to know that they can know, like, and trust you. And that's an awesome thing that Facebook provides. Like with Facebook Lives, like if you can have like you have right here, like a podcast, and you're consistent, like you pick a day of the week and a time of the day, and you're going to be going on every week. Like my show is Tuesdays at 11. You know, it's Techie Tuesdays or Texting Tuesdays, because that's what I do. And they know at 11 o'clock every Tuesday, I'm going to be coming live and sharing some value. And then I use tools like bots and things to deliver things that I'm talking about in my messaging. And we can talk all about that too. But,
oh yeah, no, I'd love to, because I think that's it. Once you get the conversation side down, and most of us can have that conversation side down with our friends, it's expanding it to people of interest that you would like to form friendships with, and then knowing what to say and how often to say it, and the compliments and the things. I mean, it's got to come authentically from you. You can't just go, oh,
100%.
I love your purple hair, you know, and you can't fake that. It has to be something that, you know, you can go into. And if I'm correct, you can use things like groups and those kinds of things to find the common groups before we go into the technique, because I'm not going to drop you on that bot idea. But talk to me about where we find the people.
Yes. So it's all about finding mutual connections, right? So people who have similar likes and interests as you, they might have they might be in the industry that you're looking to reach out to. So you can actually, in the top search bar, if we're talking about Facebook specifically, but you can do this in any of the social medias, is on the search bar, look, you know, type in what you feel your customer would be typing in to look for something like you provide. Okay. So like I provide texting services for restaurants. That's our number one niche, I guess you'd say. Right. So I help restaurants capture a list of their loyal customers and then drive them back to their store again and again with their hungry friends.
Nice.
Yeah. So I go in and I look for people who are restaurant owners, managers, people who that's what's important to them. And then I go in and have conversations like, you know, how are you doing? How's your store? Do you have full seats? But I don't do it in a way that's salesy. I'm just like, oh, I'm curious, because I'd like to give some solutions to my other customers. Right. So I'm coming from an honest, authentic curiosity of how they are successful, so I can help my customers be successful too. And then they start asking me questions like, oh, why? You know, and so when they ask me, it is a natural door to say, oh, I have this service that helps you fill your seats, you know, but I don't lead with that. And that's exactly what your small businesses need to do as well, is you lead with service, right? You lead with, how can I help you? Who can I refer to you? You know, I know some people that would love your service. Tell me a little bit more about it. And people will be like, oh my gosh, thank you. You know, because when you lead with service, they want to reciprocate. It's just human nature.
And
So
I love that giving mentality. And I think in the social world, when you're there, you can give connections. You can be a connector and give, or you can give ideas, or you can answer solutions in those groups that
right,
could say, oh, I'm looking for blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, I know somebody who has that. Or, you know, I've had an
exactly.
experience, or my client had an experience that went through this, and this is how we solved it. So you can gently, you know, give examples about how you can solve problems and solutions by being out there as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. So like we've worked for years. So we've been in business for 31 years, and we've held a
When
whole,
did you start?
when I was one, thank you
When
very
you were
much.
a little kid.
I couldn't find my butt with two hands, but I started my, my business. But we've worked with, large corporations, aerospace firms, and we work with the military, currently work with the military and
Wow.
cities, schools, restaurants, but restaurants is who our texting service really, in fact, with the military, we work with their mess halls. So they're technically restaurants, right? But we found that it has the most impact, because that's the thing. When you look at it, like you probably the same thing, like you could probably help anyone who comes to you and says, hey, can I help you? But you know that service-based businesses will be most impacted
Yes.
by your solution, right?
Correct.
That's what we've done too. It's like, who has the big, who can we bless the most, right?
Right. I like
And
it.
the restaurants seem to like, oh my gosh, like I have a restaurant started with 0 on their list 4 years ago. Now they have over 75,000 local humans,
Wow.
not numbers,
People
humans
that
on their
eat.
list that they drive back to their store when they have specials and holidays and deals, and like people can't get enough of it, right? I mean, their managers, some of their store managers will say, please do not send a text out today. Like we can't handle the traffic today.
What a
It's
problem
a
to
great
have. That's
problem,
amazing. That's
right?
amazing.
Right. So, but that's the thing. We have to like figure out who our ideal client is. I mean, this is marketing 101, right? Find out who that person is. And when you're doing a live video on Facebook or on Instagram or on LinkedIn or wherever, you're talking to that person who you can solve their problem, because everyone has a problem that needs to be solved. Even if you're a carpet cleaner, the person who's going to have Thanksgiving in their home in 3 days and realizes, oh my gosh, my
Yeah.
carpet is gross.
Right.
My prayer is that I can find a good carpet cleaner who will come and clean my carpet fast, that I can trust in my home. Like, so if you're that, like, you need to go out and look for people who are saying, I'm hosting Thanksgiving. I'm looking for recipes or whatever. So people are hosting Thanksgiving would be somebody who is a carpet cleaner. You're like, hey, is
You
your
want your
house?
house cleaned? I
Yeah,
love it.
we can solve that problem for you, right? So that's the thing, is looking for who needs you and then provide the solution. And again, not everybody's going to be ready to buy when you want them to be,
Of course not.
right? And that as being a sales coach, like, you're only are basically putting it out there on a consistent basis. And as I said in the beginning, showing up. So people will be like, when they're ready, you're coming up in their feed.
Nice.
You're being present, like, oh, I've heard from her.
I've seen her a couple times, time and time again.
Right.
I think it used to be, a long time ago, you had to see the commercial 7 times or 9 times before you
Yeah.
could ever decide to buy them.
Yeah.
It's the same
7 to
thing with
11 or
social.
something.
Yeah, it's the same thing in social though. You want to be present, and you want to
Right.
make your comments, and you want to have and add value to it. So then when they are ready, the light tricks on and goes, oh, I remember Mary. I remember Marcia.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
let's hit them up.
Yeah,
Let's see what they have.
exactly. Exactly. And if you think about it too, because some people tell me like, I don't want to post too much. I don't be, annoying. I don't
Right.
whatever. But you know what? Only 4% of your friends will ever see your post in one given day. 4%.
Really?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
think about it. The more friends you have, the more posts, the more things are in your feed. So as you're scrolling through, I don't know if you spend 5 minutes, 5 hours on social media, you're never going to be able to see everybody's posts, right? In a
Okay.
given time frame, because we all have things to do.
Right.
So if you are being consistent and you can have something posted the same time every single day, or show up once a week and do a live, right? Have a little bit of strategy behind your posting, then you're getting people in, and then having a way to pull them offline, giving them an
Yes.
offer that they can either text in to get, click on a link that'll take them to a messenger bot to get that going, or asking people to like click on a link that'll take them to a landing page to get their email. You're always wanting to, especially in business, provide value, and then say, hey, if you want more, enter your email or enter your this, and then just, we'll send it to you absolutely free. And then you're now starting a conversation offline. And that's
Gotcha.
really important because we don't own Facebook, we don't own Instagram. And if they shut it down, which they probably won't, but still, if they do, remember, I don't know if you remember, I think it was April 13th when Facebook went down for the whole day.
I do
People were
remember
freaking
that.
out.
Right. Especially because so many people are using it now as a business tool. Yes.
Right.
And Facebook is constantly changing their algorithms as what is a successful, what is allowed and what's not allowed, how to get the ranking and, you know, all the SEO kind of stuff that we have. But I
Right.
don't think in this manner you're worried about that because you're making social connections and you're getting to them because they had a common interest, and you're tagging them and you're writing to them and you're answering and you're commenting. But doesn't that take a lot of time?
It does, but you just need to chunk your time.
Okay.
So if you can put in your calendar, like, you know, a half hour, an hour every day that you say, okay, this is my time. I'm going to go in and I'm going to be social. I'm going to go and comment in groups, and I'm going to share resources with people and whatever. And then you're out, in and out, right? In fact, the best,
Sure. You're
well,
out,
you
right?
get
3 hours later, you're like,
you get sucked into that vortex, right? You're like,
yes, you do. I
yeah,
know.
Pinterest is my vortex. Like
Oh,
I almost try to keep myself off of Pinterest because I will look up and it's 3 hours later. You know?
right. So you have to, you just as a business owner, you have to have control. Is there any specific time where being online is more effective than not?
Well, the way to do it, because every industry is different, every company is different. The best way to do it is to go in the back end of your business page, and there's a button that's called Insights. You can actually click on that and see when the people who are interacting with your page are interacting with it
Oh,
most.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
easy.
that's a great tip.
Yeah. So go in and see, okay, 8 a.m. Maybe it's if you're in like a very regulated, you know, industry, you might, you know, be 8 a.m. right before the office opens. So people are, you know, before they go to work or while they're sitting in the parking lot ready to go in, or they might be scrolling through. So 8 o'clock would probably be a great time. But then it's really important that you, when you post, even if you use an automated service, have someone in your business be diligent in the 30 minutes after you post to be there to answer questions and to comment back when people comment on it. So
Okay,
because
you're fresh and you're answering when they're posting, and so
yeah,
let me ask you
so
that.
you're a real human.
So I post at noon. I stay on till 1 o'clock. I've answered a bunch of stuff. I leave. Then at 2:30, someone responds. So then I'm back in again to respond to their response. I mean,
You
maybe I
could.
need to hire a 19-year-old kid to do all my posting.
Well, you could use the service that posts at a certain time, and then you know when to go back in. But yeah, I mean, it's all on how you would like to structure your business. So you don't have to answer right away.
Good.
You know, if someone 2 hours later answers, you can have your scheduled time. Let's say you said at noon, right? So you stay on, you know, maybe 12 to 12:45. Somebody answers at 2:30. You know, maybe your next time frame is at 4. You jump in for 20 minutes. You answer it then. It doesn't have to be instant
Perfect. Good.
when it
Good
comes
to
to
know,
that.
because a lot of people are busy running their business and their practice and finding the time to go social. And that's why I think a lot of busy professionals don't do it, because they think it's going to be this ridiculous, arduous task that's going to
Right.
require them. And they're going to get in that vortex and they're going to just be sucked in. They look up, it's 5 o'clock, and they've got nothing done. Well, nothing physically done, but they've
Right.
spent their life on social. And
Right.
they've watched a whole bunch of videos, and I have this cute little German Shepherd I watch because the mom talks for the dog, and it's just so cute,
So
but every
fun.
time I get on there, I watch 2 or 3 videos and I'm like, damn, where did that go? So
Right.
yes, we do need to have maybe a
A
time
little,
setter,
yeah, like a little willpower.
little
A little
willpower.
bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But we can do it. We can do it in small chunks throughout the day.
Of course. Of course. And
Perfect.
that's the thing. If you think about it as you're being social, not as something you have to do, it's actually a mindset thing, right? I mean, if we think of this, oh my God, the drudgery, I got to go on, I've got to talk to people. Oh my,
That I don't want to talk to today.
right.
Yes.
But you know, if you have that mindset, one, you're not going to be successful anyways. Like because people want to talk to people who want to talk to them, right? If you went to, again, back to the party analogy, you went to a party and the person you're talking to is looking beyond you, right? Or checking their watch or looking at their phone. Don't you feel a little disconnected? Like,
Totally.
they don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to somebody else or not to anyone, right? So if you're going to not want to do it, don't do it. But if you
Makes
want to be
sense.
social and start relationships with people, right, you're going to be all in. And when you're on, be present. And when you're off, go do something else. But if you can do that, it'll transform how you respond to people too, because you're going to be generally interested in their dog video, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's something you might share with your group. Like, oh my gosh, this is the funniest dog video.
Right.
Let me know, because all social media shouldn't be business. And you should have like a couple posts a week that are education, a couple posts a week that are either motivational or inspirational, maybe a post that's funny, to show your human side. And then one post that is business, saying, hey, I have this great special. We're going to, and right now, come with Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming, you're going to be seeing more ads than ever, right? And
so then this is probably a better time to be more social than ads.
Ding, 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 ding. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you'll stand out.
Interesting. So how can we automate this? Because this can be a lot.
Yes.
Right.
Well, there's lots of tools to help you with your social media automation. Like I use something called Smarter Queue, which is a really cool, and I can provide you a link with it, but it's a really cool way to automate your posts. But again, you can't just set it and forget it. I really feel like we have what we call on our team, social communicators. And so for our clients, we actually have our social communicators go in and start answering as the client, and we do that kind of service for people. But it does save a lot of time, because you can post on Pinterest and LinkedIn and Instagram and,
all day long and nothing gets done.
Right. But no, you can like chunk it. So you can get all your month's posts posted like within 4 hours. Like you could just get them all done, or 1 hour, depending on how many things you want to do. But then you can also do other automation. So we have something called Brilliant Bots. We use a service called ManyChat. It's a software that works beautifully with Messenger from Facebook. And so if we were doing this broadcast right now, like on my page, I've set it up. So I just say, comment with the word text below, TEXT, and my Mary bot will send you back a PDF on business success tips with texting. And
I love it.
Yeah. And then
that's really hard to create. It is our bots. I mean, I've heard several people talk about bots and messenger bots, and it's really just a program that when someone puts something in, like you said, you type in text, then the automation comes in and sends you what you want. So is it hard to create?
It's a little complicated a little complicated, I'll be honest with you. But once you have it set up, you just can let it run, and then they never take a day off or get sick.
Nice. So then if you're rewatching this video at 3 a.m. because you just couldn't sleep, then I don't have to be up to send you that piece.
Exactly. Because there's nothing, you cannot substitute human conversation. Like your number one thing is when you jump in and say, hey, I know MaryBot sent you this information. I want to know if you had any questions on it. So you're still following up, but you're, like you said, it's, people watch, you don't know when people are going to consume your information.
Right.
It just allows you to do that. Or it can answer simple questions. Like we do chatbots for restaurants, and people ask questions like, what's your menu? And
what's the soup of the day?
Right. It triggers, it's like augmented or artificial intelligence. It'll trigger keywords, and there's like little, click on here to get the menu, click on here to get the hours of operation, click on here to get specials. And they go, oh, I'm looking for a special. Click on that. Boom. It sends, it's like, when do you want to come in? And then you give them options and they click on that. It's just like, it carries on a conversation as well, but you don't have to be the one there doing it.
Gotcha. And then if I understand this correctly, when you do use a bot, you have to designate that it is a bot. So you've named yours MaryBot. Yes. And so I could have Marcia bot or Bella bot or, Profit bot or something, so they know that I'm not physically talking to them and they don't get insulted when I respond back in a very canned
Exactly.
time.
And in California, it's actually a law. You have to say if it's a bot or not a bot. So so on my Mobile Mary page, which is my speaking and coaching page, I call her #MaryBot. And on my business Facebook page, which my company is Another Brilliant Idea, because everyone needs another brilliant idea, right? I call it Brilliant Bot. And he has a little character. I have a little and he waves at people and he's really kind of cute. But you can be silly and goofy because it's not you. It's this character that you create. And they can be kind of outlandish as much as you want to say, hey, are you looking for this? And they can send jokes. And again, it's however you want to have it programmed. It's really brilliant. But what's funny is there actually is a lot of rules because it uses Facebook. So you can't interact with someone unless they've had a conversation with you within 24 hours. So that's why we always help people with our texting, because there's not as many rules. We can't do hate speech or promote alcohol, or there's rules, and there's a time of day, like you only could do it while people are awake, right? So like 7 a.m. till 9 o'clock at night. But that's pretty much it. You can do whatever you want with text marketing. So we kind of incorporate different forms of automation to be able to collect, a name, an email, a birth date, a phone number. So then we can carry on the conversations. Because guess what, guys? It's not about us, right? And I think we need to sink that in. Marketing our business is not about us. It's about our customer.
Right.
And we don't know how they like to communicate with us. We don't know what platforms they want to be on. So it's all about picking a platform and seeing if your customer is there. Picking a form of communication and seeing if your customers respond to that. And if
it's not just one, right? It's not just one and done. You should dabble a little bit in a few things. I love this texting idea. Is this something that requires a service? Obviously you want to have someone help you set it up and run it for you, but is that texting service like a bot as well?
No, actually, and it's our service. Brilliant Mobile Messaging is
I love it.
software.
So totally new thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I've actually been doing it for 12 years. This is what we work with the military and cities and schools and things like that, is our texting, and restaurants. But yeah, so it's basically a platform that we set it all up for you, and then you have a keyword similar to a bot, or a keyword is all inside Messenger. But with texting, you don't have to have another app. It's just comes through as native texting, like you would text your, daughter, bring home ice cream.
Right.
It's, like for me, I'll say text the word brilliant to the number 71441 to get, a link to, in fact, let's see, if you text Mary to 71441, you get a link to set an appointment with me.
Okay. So say that one more time. Mary to 7.
Text the word Mary, M-A-R-Y, which is my name, to the number 71441.
71441 I was trying to get you to say it slower.
Oh, you're so cute.
Yes. So, and I'll make sure that's at least visible. And on our podcast description, you'll have some of this information and Mary's information. So if you needed to get this information more, which I wish I had, I'm going to have to rewatch this to take all the notes so I can get everything on it, because this is wonderful.
Yeah. So I just did it. So I tested it. You can see here, I texted the word Mary.
I see it. Let's pick up a free 15-minute consult. Right. Cool.
Yeah. And then somebody will say to me, well, what's a chat bot? I don't understand how that works. I'm like, oh, if you want to see a sample, text the word Mary bot, one word, M-A-R-Y-B-O-T, and you'll get a little link that'll take you through and show you what a chatbot is. So I use it to capture a list of people without any data entry. And then I segment the list. So I know that people who are texting in the word Marybot are interested in chat marketing, right? I know people who, like when I give big presentations from stages, I usually use the word brilliant. And so I know that they're interested in, social marketing. So I have different reasons to do that. And with our restaurants, they have people text in different words for time of day. Like lunch customers have a different keyword than dinner customers. So they know if they have a lunch crowd they want to drive in, they use their lunch keyword. So it really is very easy and very brilliant. But I
love it. No, I'm loving this idea, because this is what business owners use. So if I'm dealing with my chiropractor and they're trying to say, hey, we've got a special, or I've got an open window and you can come in, or the dentist that wants to talk about cleanings, and maybe they have a new promotion where they want you to come in and use your benefit before the year end, then they're going to want to be able to time that. But I guess my question for this is, how do we get the phone numbers? Someone has to sign up or request that first, correct?
Yes, very good question. Yes, and we have an appointment reminder service. So for dentists, and I do have dentists who use our service, and they use it to send out appointment reminders.
Yes.
And then people can't make it, they can actually say, I'm going to miss it or need to reschedule. Then their staff can follow back up with them. And like you just said, with the benefits, that's a brilliant idea, by the way. Um, they can let them know, and they could schedule an appointment right from their phone.
Right.
But yeah, so it's because text marketing is 100% permission based. That's the beauty of it. When somebody wants what you offer, they're opting in. They're doing the data entry themselves because they want what you have, a coupon or just connections with you, or a chance to like quickly and easily set an appointment with you. They're going to do the work for you. They're going to text in, and now you've captured their number. You can also ask for, hey, we'd like to personalize your messages. What's your name and your email? Or what's your name and your birth date? Or what's your name and your favorite color? Whatever you want.
Right, right.
And then all that information gets sucked into our account. Now, we also integrate with popular email platforms. Let's say you have Constant Contact or MailChimp. The minute you put in your name and email, it gets shot over to MailChimp. So not only are you able to communicate to them by text, but all of a sudden now your MailChimp account is growing, the database, I should mean. So every month when you have a dental newsletter, all of a sudden, instead of 500 people on your list, you have 600 people on your list to go out to. And you never had to do any data entry.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So then as an example, so in this podcast, you could say, here, text me and then you have a code, a text code. How do you get one of those text codes?
We provide it for you.
So you provide it. Perfect. Perfect. And then, so then this is the easiest thing ever, Mary. I can't, you're making it, I'm like, why haven't I been doing this? Because it's almost stupid easy, and to build a list of potential clients is the ultimate goal in all marketing, I believe.
Right.
Your list is worth millions because of the potential use of business you could have coming out. Now you want to honor that list responsibly and respectfully, and not kill them. I don't know how I got onto someone's text list, and now I'm getting these things, but I think they're not, I ought to refer them to you, because they never tell me, oh, this is Allison. It just says, oh, hi, Marcia, blah, 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 blah. And our next thing here, click on this bit, Lily. And I'm like, who is this?
Right.
I always, even when I'm texting my friends, I always say Marcia at the end, because they never know. I never know that they have my telephone number programmed.
Right.
And unless it's programmed, you don't know who this is.
I know what you're talking about. And you, because I get those same emails from her, or the text messages.
Yeah.
And it's because you probably went to one of her events and you signed up, and there was a little box that said, we will, you're giving it, by putting in your phone number, you're giving us permission.
And that's fine, because I can always say stop. But I think the missing piece that she's doing is she's not telling me it's Allison, or it's Mary, or it's Marcia. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to texting.
That's, the whole be kind, rewind. It's all about, letting people know who you are and what you have to offer, which is great. I actually used to have a podcast back in 2012 to 2015. I had a podcast, and that was the way I let people, because mine was like a live, like it was in the moment. So I had people call in, that kind of stuff. So I'd have people say, I'd say, text the word, I think it was radio or whatever. And when they did, I knew they were listening to my radio show. And every week, like right before it started, I'd be like, tune in now, and put a link, and then people would, so it was not pre-recorded. So I had to get people there in the moment.
Right. That's good though.
It's a great tool, because people don't turn off their texting because they text their kids.
Right. No.
Right.
Yes, it's always on. And, you can put your phone to sleep for the night, which is fine, which is probably a good idea. But yes, the texting is always coming through. And it doesn't really, we're in a time now. I remember when you used to be charged by the minute and by the text. Right. And if it's ingoing and outgoing, and now we don't have that. Everything is unlimited. So it really shouldn't be a challenge that you're using up my minutes when you're sending a text. But I love this text idea to complement everything else. You brought up something
that's very important too to consider, is that, again, we have the ability to communicate to people on many platforms. And so when text, you need to be respectful that is their personal device, and they hold it very dear. So you wouldn't like text every single day unless that was part of your program. Like I have a brain therapist who uses it for people who have brain injuries. he
Oh,
does use it every day, but they know that going in and they get
it's a trigger to help them with something else. I love it.
exactly. So it's like accountability, like they have exercises they have to do and they have to say that they did it because it's part of the insurance, program. But normally you're letting people know you're going to be texting, maybe 4 to 5 times a month and you
Right. You're not,
respect
you're
that,
doing respectfully. Any
exactly.
kind of marketing, I think, has to be done. I think you can quickly burn your bridge with that potential client if you throw up on them or you hit them and then it's like ba 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 ba. So
Right.
I had another experience with someone who came to we're both in eWomen Network, so we had a speaker come to eWomen last year, and it was a great conversation. The information was very valuable, and then they promised, here, get in this free week course, and that was great. And the information, I would have probably purchased their event and their program had they not called me and left me a ridiculously long message, texted me every day, sent me long drawn out emails every day for the next month.
Oh my
And
God.
it was such an aggressive marketing campaign from someone who said that they spoke with such a soft voice and they did all these wonderful things, but it was such an assault on me that it was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to turn you off just because. So I think that you
Right.
have to be respectful in any marketing. It
Right.
is all about being frequent and consistent and showing up, like you say. But I think it's so important to just know that you're going to be there, but be there enough, but not too much. And I think that's the
Right.
magic line that we have to not cross.
Yeah.
And
But
it's a
again, you
challenge.
have the availability of so many different kinds of marketing that it doesn't have to, like you said, it was so obnoxious. You got, email, or text, like break it up, like you send out a text saying, hey, I'm going to send you an email this week. I've got this event in 2 weeks and I'm going to send you a couple emails. And then, a couple days later, you send an email. A couple days after that, maybe a Facebook post. A couple days after that, you send maybe a follow-up email. And if they don't click on it, they're not interested. And that's okay. It opens up the door to take other people in, right?
Right.
You
I
don't have
think
to
it's
sell every
great
day.
to hear no. I think I'd rather hear no than not maybe.
Yes, exactly. Because then it's a defining moment. It's like, okay, I'll let you get help from someone else. In fact, same thing like you, I'm sure have clients who sometimes you have a customer who has become so high maintenance. You're like, you know what? I would love to help you meet a new dentist.
Right?
And it's okay to release them into the wild,
Yes, yes,
and
it
then you're
is.
opening yourself up to help more customers. So
The
it's
ones
okay
that
not
you
to help.
want. And that's the blessing with being a small business owner. And I use the word owner and entrepreneur is you get to choose your clients. So
Yes,
choose the clients you want to have in your life and say no to clients you don't want in your life. Just because they fog a mirror doesn't mean they're your client, right?
right.
So yeah, so I
Right.
love this conversation that we're going on. Mary, repeat again, how can my listeners find you?
Sure. So they can either text Mary to 71441, which is a short code. So they just text the number 71441 and then the message, they type Mary and then hit send. Or they can email me. My email is mary@anotherbrilliantidea.com. They can find me, Another Brilliant Idea, on the web or Facebook. I'm all over the place. So however they would like to connect, if I could be of service to them. And if they know of anyone who owns a restaurant, that is, again, who we have the biggest impact on. Because I'm all just like you. That's, I think, why we connected, Marcia, is I'm all about profitability. Like, I don't want you to use my product if you're not going to use it and make money. Like,
I get
life
you.
is short. And we only charge $47 a month. And so it's not like this giant investment. $47 allows you to reach out to your people, drive them back into your store so you can let them enjoy. Because most restaurant owners and business owners, they started their business because they wanted to help people, serve them, or gather
They
around a
had a
table and
passion for their food.
fashion for their food, or they want to like bring family members around a table and have memories, and they do that. They didn't want to sit in the back room on a computer and market their business. They want to
No.
do their business, right? So let use tools and let professionals who can do it for you, like, do it, like, because you're, as you know, Marcia, like we all have gifts and we
Hmm.
need to work within our strengths. And for things that aren't our strength, just have somebody do it for you. You'll be paid back in tenfold, and then refer
Yes.
people who can do other things for you and them. And it'll all become one happy family. Kumbaya.
Yes. Well, that's actually one of my key strategies is hiring people to do the work that you should not be doing, to be in your best, most highest use of your time.
Yes.
And then multiply yourself, create mini me's to
Yeah.
do the things that you really shouldn't be doing. And yes, exactly. So that's one of the tricks. I love that you believe wholeheartedly in that. So thank you. Do you have anything that so if we type in Mary, we're gonna get an appointment, but do you have anything that you want to share with us? Do you have any kind of report or something that
I
would
do.
give us the
Well,
understanding?
yes, sure. So I have a texting success for business PDF that if you guys are interested in using text for your business, let Marcia know, and I will send her the PDF and she can share it with you.
We'll have a link on the podcast for this because this is
Awesome.
wonderful. There's so
Awesome.
much information.
Yeah, because it's sometimes you'll go, well, I don't know what to do. I want it. So it's a do this, don't do that type thing to make it really super easy. So yeah,
Perfect.
so I'd love to gift that to your listeners. And it's
Thank
been
you.
such a pleasure having this conversation, Marcia. We never have enough time to talk at eWomen. So this has been really fun.
No, this is perfect, and I love it. I love it. So this is my way of giving back and sharing my brilliance as well. So I'm so happy that you came on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So thanks for listening today, everybody. I hope you found an idea or two or four or five with Mary here that you can put into your business and make more profits and grow your money and become more profitable. If you'd like to know specifically how to increase your own profits in your business, let's chat. My contact information will be in the podcast description. So I am truly excited to announce my book is out, and it's called Big Profit Secrets Exposed. You can hit me up on my website to get my link. I'm very excited on that. It's a lot of my information that I've taken from the investing world and transitioned it into my businesses. And that's how I consult with my business owners. And if you do follow me on this podcast here, I'll give you my special report, 3 Secrets to Finding Hidden Cash Flow Right Now. So we'd love to hear your comments, your feedback. If you have any questions for Mary, we can forward any of these questions over to her. Just comment on the podcast below. And then you can always hit me up at bellafinancialgroup.com. You can catch Profit with a Plan on any of your favorite podcast players. And we're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's show. So until then, make your plans and profit with it. Thanks, Mary.
Thanks. Have a wonderful day. Be brilliant in all you do.
Yes, absolutely.